Hi, my name is Mariana Colado, and today I'm going to be talking about what separates human language from the ways animals communicate and their languages. So, Charles Hockett has 7 defining principles which describes the aspects that set apart humans from animals as far as language goes. So, those 7 aspects are duality of patterning, productivity, arbitrariness, interchangeability, specialization, displacement, and cultural transmission. So I'm going to start off with talking about duality of patterning. So duality of patterning is set up for convenience when it comes to attempting to convey large messages. Animals have a stock of basic sounds, while humans have a stock of phonemes, which are the smallest unit of language, which in isolation are meaningless, but when put together, it allows us to create words and sentences. So, next is productivity. Productivity is the ability to produce or create any word we want. We are able to change things up and say things differently, while animals have limited messages they can send or receive. In the article, What is Language? They gave the example of a grasshopper being limited to 6 phrases such as I am happy, you are trespassing on my territory, or she's mine. Imagine being limited to a couple of phrases every day, having to hear, hey, how's it going? Good. So, next is arbitrariness, which is the absence of connection between words and its meaning, sound, or form. So, unlike animals where there is typically a link between the signal and the message, for example, if a dog growls at something, they are showing a dislike towards that thing. Human messages, on the other hand, do not always have a link between the word and the meaning. There are exceptions to when it comes to things like onomatopoeias, like the word bam, slam, things like that. But when it comes to most words like nose, there is no connection between the word nose and the actual body part. Next is interchangeability, which is the idea that if one person can say something, if another person hears them and is able to understand them, they themselves should be able to replicate that word or saying. So, next is specialization, which is when a message is given and an action is triggered in response. One of the examples Hockett gave was a woman calling out to her family that dinner is ready, and her family goes to the dinner table in response. So, the sixth property is displacement, which is something unique to people. We as humans are able to speak about anything and everything, whether it involves the past, the present, the future, we are capable of doing so. Animals are limited to communicating about the present and basic living functionalities like searching for food or reproducing. So, the last thing is that people grow up in different environments and come from different backgrounds, and this is where cultural transmission comes into play. People speak and act differently based on where they are from. For example, people from the Midwest often call a drink a pop, while people in New York call it a soda. Animals from the same species, no matter where they are in the world, tend to behave the same way and communicate the same way no matter where they are. So, now that we learned about Hockett's 7 principles, I'm going to be discussing universal grammar. Universal grammar is a nativist position in which language is believed to be innate. However, any particular language like Spanish or English is not built into your brain, it's culturally transmitted. So there are 2 rules to universal grammar, which is number 1, babies go through the same stages in development no matter what language they are learning. So all babies tend to babble. They tend to prefer labial sounds, low vowel sounds. Um, Rule 2 is that infants master language way faster than they should if they're blank slate. So the idea is that if babies are able to learn language so quickly, it's for a reason. It's built into our brains. Um, so now we're going to talk about morphemes, which is the smallest grammatical unit in a language. It is the smallest meaningful unit of a language. And there are 2 types of morphemes. There are free and bound morphemes. So free morphemes can appear on their own, while bound morphemes have to be attached to something else in order to mean something else. For example, a bound morpheme would be the S plural. So a free morpheme could be, let's say, dog. So when attached together, they create dogs. That is it. Thank you for watching my video.